You rat. You're in this up to your ears just as much as I am.
No, there must be something I can do.
There's something you're gonna do, and that's pay me off. I'm staying right here till I get my dough.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Bad Movie Review. Today I'd like to discuss Dick Tracy vs. Cueball, the 1946 follow-up to Dick Tracy Detective. Runs just over an hour. The general plot is that a diamond merchant returning from South America is attacked on the cruise ship once it docks in port. Of course, he is killed. He's strangled. And the murderer is a man named Cueball, obviously for his bald head. And the murderous Cueball is on a rampage across town. And you know what that means? It's time to call the legendary detective, Dick Tracy. So, Dick Tracy vs. Cueball is a significantly better film than Dick Tracy Detective. I still don't like Morgan Conway as Dick Tracy. It's his second and last Dick Tracy movie, because there were only a handful of them. But he did a much better job in this movie. I think the direction was a little better, and the script was definitely better. A little less goofy. Still had a lot of goofy elements, but that's normal for Dick Tracy. But the plot was tighter, the production was better, and the acting was vastly superior in this one. All around, even with the same actors that were in the previous movie. It was definitely a tighter script, though. The pacing seemed to be a lot better. And yeah, that's really about all there is to say for this one. It's a superior movie to Dick Tracy Detective. And it's not a bad noir film. It has much more of a darker feel to it. That was probably a double negative. I'm sure the English majors will correct me. Overall, I'd recommend this one. Of the three that I've seen, I think this one and Gruesome were definitely the two of the best three that I've seen. I like Gruesome a little better because Boris Karloff's a superior actor, but Dick Tracy vs. Cueball was a pretty solid film overall. For an hour, it wasn't bad. I didn't feel like the time was dragging like I did with Dick Tracy Detective, where it was just kind of a little slower. This one is definitely a lot more going on at once. Things are moving a lot faster, and it keeps the noir elements, so it definitely feels like a 40s film, but it definitely has a much better pacing, and the plot's real basic. You know, it's about a diamond thief and the hunt for him, and it's not as goofy and campy as the previous one. So, if you're looking for a Dick Tracy film or just an old school superhero type film, this would be better serving your time than Dick Tracy Detective, which I think is a pretty weak movie overall compared to this one. This was a much superior film. I cannot talk today, so we're going to cut this short. It's worth checking out, especially in the multi-packs. If you're looking for an old-timey superhero type film, it has a certain element of that, but Dick Tracy's a lot more relatable and human in this one, so it's not quite as goofy as the comics would get into later on when they were in space and stupid crap like that. And he still doesn't have the two-way wrist phone, but he does wear the trench coat and hat much more often, which I really liked. I think that was a superior addition in this one as well. And the body count's a lot higher than I expected. None of the killing is done on scene, or on screen rather, but it is definitely well done and well executed in that regard. You know, you definitely have a greater sense of dread going through the film. So yeah, it's worth checking out. It's got some cool lines, some really good camera angles, good use of black and white and shadows. So yeah, this was a superior film to Dick Tracy Detective. Good follow-up. They probably should have led with this one. Yeah, so check it out if you're into some old-timey movies or some superhero stuff or some noir films. It's much better. So we'll wrap it up there, and be sure to check out my other Dick Tracy reviews or just some of my other reviews in general. And coming up next is going to be the Dick Tracy 1990s movie with Warren Beatty and Madonna. just to kind of round out the Dick Tracy's. I still don't have a copy of Dick Tracy's Dilemma. That one might have to wait for a little while, so check back. It'll be filed under the superhero playlist if you're watching this on the YouTubes or one of the other streaming services. But this one does show up in multi-packs a lot, so it'll be fairly easy to find. And yeah, just keep an eye out for it. It's usually in one of the cheap bins. So that's it for today, and thanks for listening.
No, wait a minute, Cueball! Cueball! I'll give you the money! Cueball! Here, I'll give you the money. Take the money! Cueball! Ah!
And since we're such good friends, dearie, I'm going to make you a special rate for this room. $500 a night.
$500? Well, you dirty old bag out of...
Never mind the compliments. Payable in advance.